Hi everyone, Marose here. Since it was International Tiger Day just a few days ago, I thought I would share one of my watercolor paintings of a tiger, which I did a while back, and I'll take you through the process of how I painted this. So I'm watching myself paint here and we'll jump right into this. I did a sketch based on a reference photo. If you're not comfortable with freehand sketching just yet, you could of course simply trace the reference photo or use a light tablet and a grid, and I have a video to explain how to do that. So then I started out with some cadmium yellow for the initial base coat, and then I followed that up by saturating with some golden color. This golden paint color is from my Yarka St. Petersburg watercolor set. It's a very nice, rich or opaque yellow color, which I like to use a lot for my base coats because it gives the painting a nice sun-basked glow. And there you saw me pull off some washi tape, which I'd put down to mark off the background. Later in the video you'll see I'll change my mind about how far that background color extends, because it just wasn't looking right to me. Anyway, just keep watching the video and you'll see it's gonna work out in the end. The nose I painted in using Madder Lake Red. For this painting I used about 6 or 7 different colors. All the colors and all the materials I used in this painting are listed in the video description. There you can see I start to paint in the stripes or markings of the tiger's coat using a dilute Paynes Gray to begin with. Now this might be very intimidating to paint in for you new artists, or if you're new to painting tigers, because the markings of a tiger are so very distinctive, but it just comes down to studying your reference photo and understanding the underlying anatomy, the skeletal structure and the musculature of the tiger. And once you understand these, you can begin to see how the stripes and markings, they follow mostly the contours of the anatomy, and if you understand that, you'll have an easier time of painting these in. So like I said, for my first pass, I'll paint in the markings very lightly. I'll take my time with this and study my reference photo. Don't be fooled by how sure my hand looks as it moves across the page in this video. This video is of course shot in hyperlapsed mode, and it may give the illusion of pure confidence in my brush strokes. But the truth is I'm being very careful here, and I'm moving over the page slowly, pausing a lot to check my work to avoid making mistakes. I mean, if you do make a mistake at this point, it's not the end of the world. You can still correct some small errors with some white ink or acrylic paint and then paint over that. But of course your goal is that with practice, you are eventually able to keep the errors to a 0 or at least a minimum. And then getting past the fear of making mistakes, you can begin to enjoy the process and lose yourself in it. For me, I really love how when I'm focused on a drawing or painting, it becomes sort of like a meditation. Sometimes I'm lost in thought and my thoughts go off in all sorts of different directions. Sometimes I don't have any thoughts at all and I'm just completely focused on working on a piece. It's different for different artists, I'm sure. For me, I like to sit in the quiet while I work, or if I play any music of any kind, it's mostly instrumental stuff. Like I really love listening to classical guitar while I paint. Occasionally, if I'm avoiding my own thoughts because I have something going on in my life, I'll play an audiobook in the background or binge watch some TV series or play a movie on the side. Something with a lot of dialogue so I can just listen, so I can look at my painting instead. So there you go, just a few insights into what's going on in my brain while I'm painting. Here I am starting to work on the background again. I'm painting in a deep green, a Russian green as it's called. It's also from my Yarka St. Petersburg set. I'm not going to detail up that background. It will mostly just hint at the jungle atmosphere that this tiger could be found in. And now I'm starting to work more on building up depth or dimension, and I'm saturating where necessary, painting in smaller shapes within the larger shapes that I initially started with. And the tiger takes on more of a three-dimensional quality when I start to paint in the shadows. For my cool shadows, I use a dilute ultramarine blue, and here you see how the tiger is starting to take on form and mass. And let's just talk about tigers for a bit. Tigers are just absolutely stunning in their design. They're just this package of intensity, strength, intelligence, and grace combined, and there's just something really regal about them. It's just heartbreaking that people can stomach to hunt and kill these beautiful animals for profit. I've read somewhere that there are currently just under 4,000 tigers alive in the wild today. Just under 4,000. Can you imagine a world without tigers in it, where you just have to see them in pictures and paintings and movies? I mean, I really hope the day never comes, which is partly why I share this with you, hoping to grow some appreciation and spread some awareness. If you have a few extra seconds, check out some of the links I left below to some wildlife conservation efforts. I've listed some down there. Make a donation if you can, or just learn a few tiger facts and help spread the appreciation and awareness about tigers and their plight and the plight of other endangered animals as well. And of course, back to the painting again. At this point, I'm doing another pass over the painting and going into even greater detail. I'm saturating my colors even further. More and more, the tiger is coming into shape. I carefully painted in some of the details of the eyes, and I've started to build up the layers of the coat. For this painting, I don't get into too much detail. I mostly just suggest the shapes. In some of my other paintings, I get really obsessed about painting in the fur texture and painting out individual strands, but I'm opting for a looser style in this one. Now, I've skipped quite a long way ahead here, but the point is, in all my paintings, or most of them, this is the process that I'll follow. From this point, I'll do several passes over and over like this until I'm satisfied with the level of depth, the level of detail, and all of that. And we're coming to the end here, and I'm sorry I wasn't able to capture it on video, that part where I drew in the whiskers using a Sakura white jelly roll pen. And this is usually my final step, and what I like to do is, after I've drawn in the white hairs, I'll get a wet, clean brush and I'll draw over the white ink lines while they're still wet, so that I can pull the line into a fine point, a fine tapered point. And that's it for this painting. I hope you found that educational, useful, enjoyable. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about the process, or if you'd like to see anything particular in the next videos about how to do these watercolor paintings. Please check out the links in the video description and maybe make a donation to one of the conservation groups that I've listed there. Have a good week ahead of you, everybody. I will see you in the next video. Bye.